2 3/4 minus 1 1/8. So I'm subtracting two mixed numbers. So there's two ways I can kind of look at this. The first is using subtracting the fractions and then subtracting the whole numbers. The second strategy is to make them both in proper fractions and then make them equivalent and subtract from there. So if I have 2 3/4 minus 1 1/8, I can do 3/4 and 1/8, and I know that I need to multiply by 2 to get them to be eighths, so that's 6/8. And now I have 6/8 minus 1/8, and that gives me 5/8. And then I have 2 minus 1, which is 1, so I have 1 and 5/8 as my final answer there. The other way I can look at this is to do improper fractions. So 2 3/4 and 1 1/8. I multiply 4 times 2, which is 8, and then I add the 3, which gives me 11. So I have 11 fourths over here, and then on this side I do 8 times 1 is 8, plus 1 is 9/8 here. Now I have to make it over 8. So I'm going to multiply by 2, and I get 22/8 minus 9/8, and that gives me 13/8. So to see if 13/8 is the same as 5/8, I look at my 13/8 and I know that 8 can be pulled out of there once. And if I subtract 8 from 13, I'm left with 5, and I keep my denominator, so I have 1 5/8. So my answer to this problem could be 1 5/8 or 13/8. I can do the same thing with addition. 3 3/8 plus 2 1/4. If I look at making equivalent fractions, so I have 3 3/8 plus 2 1/4. And I know that 4 can go into 8, so I'm going to leave my 3 3/8, and I'm going to change this. My whole number stays the same, but if I multiply by 2, I get 2/8 over here. So now I can put them together. So 3/8 plus 2/8 gives me 5/8, and 2 plus 3 gives me 5. You can also make them improper fractions, and we do that by multiplying and adding, multiplying and adding. So 8 times 3 is 24, plus 3 is 27, and I keep my denominator. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 1 is 9/4, and now I need to multiply by 2 to get it to be over 8, so then I get 18/8. And now if I add those together, I keep my 8 as my denominator, and I get 45/8. I know that 8 goes into 45 times, and then that would leave 5 left over, and I keep my denominator. So both ways I get 5 5/8.